Hello everyone, my name is Angelica and welcome to my channel. If you are here for the first time and you will like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel and check out my other DIY projects as I have plenty of them. In today's video, I'm trying something new again. I just like experimenting, trying new techniques and learning new skills. Today I will be making a mosaic, but not just any mosaic. I want to create a number sign for my house. I never tried making mosaic before, but I always find it fascinating. So I want to take you with me into this process, share what I learned, and hopefully inspire you to create your own unique art. And now, without any further ado, let's get right into the step number 1. Like most of my projects, I start with drawing the idea and the design. This step is quite important in this case to know how many and what colors of tiles you will need. I'm going for round shape with the number in the middle. I will also create the edge with smaller pieces of tile in one color. This, of course, is my design. You can create whatever you want. The background for my number will be some sort of landscape. Blue sky on the top, green glass on the bottom with colorful flowers in between. To cut my tiles, I will be using this kind of tile cutter. I know there is few different types available, but I went for this one and I can tell you now it worked absolutely fine. I'm going with colorful design and I've purchased 8 15 times 15 centimeters mosaic tiles. I've bought them online in the shop which specialize in things like this, but I'm sure you can use any kind of tiles as long as they all have the same thickness. To attach them to the board, I will be using tile adhesive. And to fill the gaps later on, I will use the tile ground. At the end, I've used completely different brand and color, but I will explain that later. If you are new to cutting the tiles like I am, I recommend taking some old tile, ideally same thickness as the other ones, and practice on it. At first it might seem to be very hard and painful, but it gets better with the time. Think of shapes you want to get for your mosaic and figure out the best way of making them. You can also at first just hammer the tile and break it into bigger pieces. If you want to cut small pieces at the time, try to do with the corner of the cutter. Play around with it and see how this tool works. Also, different types of tiles might break differently as well. Because my sign will be outside all the time, I have to make sure that the board I'm going to glue the tiles to it is strong and waterproof. For inside projects you can use wood, but for outside I recommend using something like concrete backer board or foam backer board. I have some leftover pieces from my bathroom makeover and I will use this. The surface isn't smooth, making it perfect for adhesive to stick to it. Alternatively, you can use the back side of the big tile. There is also a few ways of attaching it onto the wall. You can add some strong hooks to the back right now, or you can just glue the whole piece to the wall later on. My piece is square, but I want to create the round shape, so for now I just draw it with the Sharpie. Then I draw the thickness of the edge and number inside. This way it will be easy to create the perfect shape. I start the whole design with creating the edge and the number. I'm going with white color and I start cutting the tile into small squares. I place them next to each other, trying to keep same distance between each piece. Once this was all complete, I've decided to glue them before continuing with the rest of the design. I've also took different adhesive than I've shown you before just because I needed something strong and safe, and I just didn't trust the one bought in pawn shop. The way I glue them might be different than others because I already have the design done and I'm not able to put the glue all over the board. I glue one piece at a time. With plastic spatula, I apply small amount of adhesive at the back of the piece and place it back to exactly same position. I press it slightly down so the glue spreads evenly. As I've mentioned before, I also try to keep same size gap between the pieces. Sometimes you might put more glue than on the other one, but just make sure when you press them down, they go to the same level. Now it's time to work on the flowers pattern. I have 3 colors for it, pink, yellow and orange. For the middle of the flower, I make small triangle. And with the flower petals, I go with more pointy ends. After putting them in the position I want them to be, I start gluing them to the board. I think gluing the sections help you keeping it all nice and tidy. Tiles are not moving all the time on the sides, and because it's a small scale project, it's better to have it all secured. And trust me, it's better for them to be glued so you can't change it and just adjust the other pieces to it. Otherwise, I was moving them slightly, then the rest didn't match, so I had to change it, and so on. It was such a lovely day. I made myself comfortable and I was doing this project on the fresh air. After flowers, it was time for a sky and grass. I started feeling the space from the edge going more inside. I absolutely loved the process as it was very relaxing, especially doing it outside in a warm day with birds singing. But it is quite tricky and time-consuming project, especially cutting the right size and fitting it nicely to the gap. I spent this day and late night continuing work on the design. Next day morning, I move it inside and start gluing the last loose pieces. Last step in the whole process, grouting. As I really like the way this mosaic looks now, with the dark grey lines, I've decided to use grey grout. I had it in the powder, so I've mixed it with water to the right consistency. I move some amount of it onto the mosaic and using like a rubber spatula, I start spreading it all around. I press it down, making sure the gaps are covered all the way down. It's quite messy job, so I recommend doing it outside or in the garage. I go with the spatula in all directions and press it down. As you can see, I've already cut my board to the right shape. I've used sharp knife to do it. With the edges, I took small puffy knife and also applied layer of the grout. This way, this mosaic looks like it's made on the stone. Once the grout is drier, I start removing the excess and clean this mosaic with some water and sponge. And this is the final result. I'm really happy how it turned out. I still have some of the tiles left, so for sure I'm going to do something with them in the future. At the moment the sign is waiting to be hung. I just can't decide which place will be best for it. Next to the entrance doors or on the gate. Like always, let me know in the comment section what do you think about this project. Do you like mosaic? I think because of the colors I chosen for this project, the sign looks very modern and I like it. The only thing I would do differently next time, I probably would make the numbers slightly bigger so it's more visible from further away. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumb up and subscribe to my channel for more ideas. And now, thank you so much for watching, your support, and I will see you in my next video.